Good morning. Good morning. Boker tov. All right, we're over the Persian father thing, and everything is good now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So today, welcome to class. Okay, ready, guys? Put away your phones, all distractions. Okay. So today, remember last week, I was telling you, first of all, we discussed the placebo effect, and I was telling you how the way Breakthrough works is that it's basically a suitcase of tools that when you know these things, very few people remember these things on a daily basis. Even I, that I've been teaching this for 7 years and have led so many groups through Breakthrough and have seen breakthroughs in people's lives, and for myself, I've had many times, every single time I apply them, changes happen, real changes happen. These things work, but oftentimes it's like vitamins. You know, like vitamins that you know you're supposed to take them, and you know it makes you feel better, and you know it's good for you, but you just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where does that come from? What?
Laziness.
What do you say it is?
Laziness.
Arrogance? Why?
Like you feel yourself not finished long enough. It's fine. Like I don't need any code. Like I'm fine. Like I just do this. Like you think you can do everything yourself. You don't need anything.
Okay, nice. Laziness?
Yeah, I think it's just.
Yeah, I think it's you don't care enough. So
Right. When do people start caring?
when you see
Thank you. When what?
actually see something happening to you like that, but if you're fine every single day, why would you take a medicine or like a vitamin? But all of a sudden, if you see you can't keep your eyes open, you're really tired, you're fatigued, then you're like, okay, fine, then I need to.
Exactly. Basically, what we're saying here is that I only do it basically crisis management. Thank you so much. So, and this I'm going to stress this again because girls, I feel like this is gold, and even for me, I feel selfish sometimes teaching Breakthrough because I feel like sometimes when I really need it, I'm like, okay, I advertise a group and we're opening up a group, and as long as I have 10 girls signed up, we're doing it again, because every single time I obligate myself to do this Breakthrough thing, my life changes for the better. So it's like when you're everything is fine, kind of, everything is good, kind of. So I don't have to really do anything because I don't have the patience to do anything and to think about anything and then change myself in any way because it's so annoying. To go on people that who was it? My friend was telling me yesterday. She was saying how I was like, wow, I saw her. I was like, wow, you got so skinny. Oh my gosh, what'd you do? And she's like, no eating disorder. She said that she's been walking around with a fatty liver for over a year and a half. A fatty liver is basically, the liver is the filter system for the whole body. And when the liver has any kind of something's going on in the liver, you have to immediately stop alcohol, stop smoking, stop doing certain things, because the liver is starting to scream hi, and the liver is very important, right? And it's fatty liver is a few steps away from cancer in the liver, and cancer in the liver is done. And for a year and a half, she knows she's walking around with a fatty liver. She knows, and she keeps eating everything regular, to the point where it got to the point where she was telling me yesterday, I was like, what'd you do? She's like, it got to the point where I was literally eating sugar, and all of a sudden I would get burning sensations in my body. Her body's already getting to the point where it's just screaming mayday, mayday, mayday. So then she stopped eating the sugar, and then she stopped eating the flour, and then she started losing the weight. We're all like that. Not all. Some people are not like that, but a lot of us are like that. Life is fine. So why rock the boat? You know what I'm saying? It's fine. Why rock the boat now and start we rock the boat when the boat starts to rock us. That's when we start moving to the rhythm of the boat. Instead of saying, there's a hole over here, there's a hole over there, the boat's going to start sinking soon, I don't know. Instead of plugging the holes when we're still afloat, we wait to start sinking, and then we start plugging our holes. That's exactly what happened with Breakthrough. I got to the point where my marriage went down in flames, everything went down in flames, no money, down to $60 in my pocket, 2 babies, divorce, back in my parents' house, 32 years old, like crash. And then I was like, mayday, 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 I need something that works. And when finally I got to the understanding that I have to do it. Like, it's almost like you can't eat the sugar, sweetheart, anymore. You gotta go outside for a stupid walk. Just do it. I got to the point where it was just like, it was only when one way up, one way out, and it was up. So, what I'm like stressing here, and this is really, really what's so important to listen to, and girls, whoever is talking, it's chaval, because maybe you'll benefit from this somehow. I think you will, very, very much. What was designed, what was created was that when I came across this wisdom, when I came across these tools, when I started doing them and plugging the holes, all of a sudden, every mazel, when we say mazel and shefa, when we say these things, it's like, we like wait for Hashem to like, bless us. And like good things start opening up for us. And jobs and things and like blessing. Like we want blessing. But like then when I started learning this material, I started realizing that like God is like, I want to give you, those husband and wives, that the husband's like, hon, let me open I want to open, no, don't open the door for me, I got it. Let me help you with your bags. I'm good. You want to go on vacation? There's no time. We have to work. Can I, wake up in the middle of the night to feed you don't know how to change the baby. You don't know how to feed the baby. A lot of women are like that. Many, 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 many. Many times it's because they have a lot of hurt in their heart. So that's how they react. Like, I'm fine. I'm good. Thanks. Peace. I got this. Many times they come to that place because of like different things. But what I learned was that, oh my God, Devorah, you're the one that's holding yourself back from all this. You're praying for Shefa, God. You're like down on the rock bottom angle of life at this point in your life, and you're like praying for Shefa. And meanwhile, every time Hashem's like, here, you're like, no, I got this. I'm good. No, I'm good. I got this. Thanks so much. I know how to do this. As long as I keep Shabbos, kosher, tznius, and I keep teaching Torah, that's the recipe for success. And it's like, mayday, we're crashing. So clearly it's not all that it is. And when I started learning is that we are not recipients of God's goodness. We are, but not only. You know what we are? We are partners, 50-50 in the creation of our lives. That's why it says a person has 7 zivugim. A person has 7 soulmates. Depends on.
I tell you this all the time.
Depends on. Hang on. Depends on where you are at the time. That's what you're going to attract. That's what I've been telling you the whole year. As if a person. One second. Hang on. 1 second. If a person, I want to hear your question, but I want you to hear what I'm saying to you first, because I saw the reaction right now. I saw it. It was. You don't need to say so much. I see the reaction. If a person is putting work into themselves, let's say, for example, they join the 5 o'clock in the morning group, and they're going on a walk from 5 to 5:45 every single morning, and then they come home and they really, really want to have a Slurpee or a milkshake, and they decide to make themselves a healthy smoothie, and then they meditate, and then they pray, and then they go to a class, and then they go do chesed, and they give to people in the hospital, and they do things for little children, orphans, and all of this is in an effort to keep this organism as healthy and as well as possible, in an effort to grow and evolve and really, really fill myself up with like emotional, mental, spiritual, physical vitamins. And the chick next door, she sleeps till noon, spends an hour and a half on her phone before she even gets out of bed, eats whatever, says whatever, does whatever, doesn't think of somebody that needs her help somewhere or whatever. She has her own life to worry about. Right? So you have these two people, both of them have the same inclinations. Both of them just want to do nothing and like eat whatever and not discipline themselves in any way and not go help the world. They just want to like do them. Both of them are the same type of person because we're all made that way. And one makes this choice not to, and the other makes a choice to listen to just be in her and whatever you want to call it. Okay? Not to come out of herself, not to work on herself. You think that the person that this girl A, is going to attract is going to be the same type of person that girl B is going to attract?
No.
Right. Exactly. But the most amazing thing about life is that we evolve in life. Where when you're 19, you're at a certain point, all of a sudden you're learning certain things and you're hearing certain things and you're understanding certain things and you realize that if I want to get anywhere in life, I got to apply certain things that work, things that people do, things that people have breakthroughs through, things that are like evolving them and upgrading them and taking their game to the next level. I can be a part of that team in that league. Or I could be in the league of like everybody else in the world, basically, where everyone's just like doing them, whatever feels right at the moment, whatever they feel like doing in the moment. Where they don't understand that the gold of life and all the blessings from life will come from where they dictate what's good for them, and then they step into their own shoes and do what's good for them, even though it's hard for them. Because they understand that that's where all good comes from. And once they start exercising, after a few weeks of exercising, all of a sudden they can't live without it. They love it. They love the endorphins. They love the feeling. They love the clarity. They love it. All of a sudden they see how it's working for them. So what are we saying? We're saying there are 7 zivugim for every single person. Why? Because depending on where you're holding, you think you're going to get your highest zivug if you're here? That's what I thought. And at a certain point, during my wedding, I was dancing with one of these women that I was very, very close to, an older woman. I was very, very close to her, a Rebbitzin, at that time. And as she was dancing with me, she says to me, "You're marrying your tika, not your zivug. You know that."
Your what?
You're marrying your tika, not your zivug. You know that. Meaning you're marrying right now, and he also, not just me, both of us. We married each other, we attracted each other because when we were single, we didn't do the work we needed to do. And therefore God puts you with a person that breaks you on every level in order for you to hit rock bottom and then claw your way up because you have no choice in order to make the change. Because you can walk through life like this and not want to change and not want to do anything and just say, okay, whatever, I was in a nice class and that was, that's for other people, not for me. But by hook or by crook, this is something that I guarantee you in your life. For sure, this is something that I've learned, and for sure, this is something that's in the sources. I just don't know exactly where right now, but I know I've heard it. One thing that I can promise you is that God will not let you leave this world without finding you in every alleyway and every corner and making you face yourself. You can run away from it. You can distract yourself. You can look at other people to help you feel better about yourself. You can blame. You can lean. You can depend. You can people please. You can do all of it. But one thing's for sure, that by hook or by crook, Hashem will make you meet yourself, whether it's to get married and God forbid get divorced, or whether it's to whatever it is. But the best way, guys, the best way, and this is I'm telling you from years of struggle, the best way is to do the work without waiting to crash. To already start functioning, to already start upgrading your game, to already start healing, to already start working yourself, investing into yourself so much health and well-being and goodness for every aspect of your being, whether that's emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, to water every single parts of your being and not to let any single one of those parts go dry for too long. You go back home, you're at a class once, twice a week, you're going to a shir. You go back home, you're staying connected, you're doing chesed once a week, no matter what. If you have to pay to do the chesed, you'll pay the few bucks to do the chesed. But to make sure that you are watering yourself on every single level and not letting yourself just get hyper-focused in one area, career, relationship, body. Don't. Because it's going to catch up. And what it does, it gets messy. This is the recipe. Breakthrough is the recipe. And breakthrough is a nice title for lots of Zohar, lots of Torah, lots of wisdom. This is the recipe. So instead of walking through life just like groping in the dark, making one mistake after the next, there are certain things that work. You put them to play. It's worked for so many thousands and thousands of people. Not that I've taught, but the thousands that I've taught and the many and the millions around the world that realize that, hey, we're in the know now. No more groping in the dark. It's not our parents' generation. We're in a generation where there's a lot more wisdom, knowledge, and it's accessible, and it's here, and it's right now, and you're sitting here, and you're paying to sit here, and you're sitting here in seminary, and you have a few weeks left to be here. Take this and run with it, and what I'm teaching you right now is the second tool, the second skill of breakthrough. The second tool that if you work on this, and again, it's like the same thing with the vitamins. You don't take them, they don't work. You take them, they work. You do this, it works. You don't do this, it doesn't work. You're not going to somehow, just by knowing it, you could know all amazing things. You could know that eating well and waking up early and going to sleep early and taking care of your body and going for a swim and being in a sauna and dry brushing and eating green veggies all the time and doing juices and doing all these things. You could know everything out there. But you could be like scarfing down hamburgers and like whatever and pizza and Doritos all day. Just because you know it doesn't mean you're applying it. Everything is in the application of it. And when you take breakthrough with me, and when the women that take breakthrough with me, we get on them, and that's why they have breakthroughs. I don't let them be. In between weeks, they have homeworks, and I'm on top of them, and we do live coaching sessions because I don't let them be. Let's go. And then boom, oh my God, Devorah had a breakthrough. Yeah, it works. Because this is what works. When you get complacent in your life, when you're in your emotional body is like, when nothing gets you like alive, when you don't feel your heart, when you're numb, being complacent, being in that place where nothing bad is happening, it's just nothing like, that is what it feels like to touch a little bit of death in this world while you're alive. What is depression? Touching and tasting a lot of death while a person is alive, to the point where their body is acting like it's not alive, in a way. What's the opposite of that? How do you undo that? You put yourself into a position where you're feeling your heart in your life. Where you get your heart, you almost like, you resuscitate yourself back to existence, back to life. You do things that are constructive, that are healthy, that are outside of your comfort zone, that are a little bit hard. You do things that make you feel alive. And the things that make you feel alive are usually the things that are good for you. You know it's good for you to do chesed. Go do that chesed, because once you give to other people, you're giving to yourself. You benefit most from it in the whole world. These are the juices that work. This is the medicine that works. This is what you apply, and this is what you're going to see. You're going to feel it in your body. All of a sudden, you're going to feel your passion. You're going to feel your excitement. You're going to feel alive. When you feel alive, you totally attract from a different place. A person that's like, and a person that's like, hi, attracts two different types of people, two different types of work like situations, two different types of bodies, two different types of mazel. It's your life. The number one place in this world, the number one place to invest your effort is in yourself. Be selfish. And when I say be selfish, I mean apply these rules, learn Torah, because Torah teaches you. How are you the most selfish? Really, in essence, by being selfless. That's because you benefit so much that you become on fire, you become alive, you feel yourself, you get to know yourself, you love yourself, you're attracting amazing things in your life. When you're not in this place of, when I see selfish, I mean in this place of complacency, of like whatever, not really meeting your own standards, not really living up to your own word. Just like whatever. Whatever. And you know what? Throughout this year, I've spoken to many, many of you on one-on-one. And first of all, you're all amazingly smart, and I wish I was as smart as you when I was your age. And amazing, and so wise in so many ways, because you've gone through a lot of things. And many of you have seen parents that were non-functional in many ways. And you saw how your parents just kind of like, obviously not everyone, but you saw how your parents kind of like made mistakes, and instead of acting one way, acted another way, and you saw how it broke them, ruined their life, and yours in many ways. And being that you saw that and are so aware of the fact that like you're so aware of their mistakes, and where you felt like they didn't meet your needs, you get to see from their experience, from their life, from their mistakes, what works and what doesn't work. When you go after your instincts, after your impulses, after what feels good in the moment right now, what do I need right now, you screw your life up. Period. And the people that are close to you. And therefore, that being said, I want to go into a little bit of this understanding of your words are everything. The way you speak, the way you talk about yourself, to yourself, about life, your knowings about your life, like, this is the way it is, that's not the way it is, this is the way she is, this is how I am, it's always going to be this way, having your words, revamping your words, you're going to see how it's going to start, tuck, 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 opening up all these doors in your life. Just because you've changed certain things that you say about yourself and to yourself. And I want to learn a little bit of Zohar on this, being that Rabbi Shimon is still among us. It says that when a tzaddik is nifta by his yahrzeit, he's around for 3 days. It's the day before his yahrzeit, the day of his yahrzeit, and the day after his yahrzeit. So today, he's still amongst us, so let's learn a little Zohar. On what? No way.
What you just said.
Why?
Like, she didn't know that. So crazy.
Oh, yeah, the neshama lingers. It lingers for 3 days.
Does that mean lingers? It comes back down to this world?
It comes down. When the yahrzeit of a tzaddik, when you are celebrating the yahrzeit of a tzaddik, a part of his neshama comes down.
And does what?
It's here. Amongst the people that are are yahrzeiding him.
Take your prayers back up. Not like everyone goes to heaven.
If you want to learn about that, Rabbi Nachman has a whole piece on that, and like what the neshamas, what the souls do when they come back. Bezrat Hashem. Okay. So, I want to read this part to you. Everyone look inside for a second. Okay? And with this, we're going to end. Okay, I'm going to skip the first part. I'm going to go to the second part. Arav Menachem ben Binyamin Rikanti, Mikubal beposek. He was a Mikubal and he lived in the year 1250. He lived from the year 1250 to the year 1310. Okay? And he writes on Parshas Vayera, he says, Veda, and no. כי יש אנשים ששואלים אחרי שהקדוש ברוך הוא יודע ליבות בני אדם ורחמנא ליבבי, because there are people that are asking, listen, God knows everything that's in your heart. He knows everything that's in my mind and my heart right now. And it says, ורחמנא ליבבי, and Hashem desires our hearts. He loves our hearts. מדוע הצריכו חז"ל להוציא התפילה בפה ולא יספק בה במחשבה בלבד? So why is it that I can't just think things? Why can't I just like pray in my brain? Why do I have to like take out time, do this whole thing, prayer thing? Why do I have to say things? Why do I have to say it with my mouth? What's with my mouth? What's the deal with mouth, speech? What?
Your manifest thoughts and whatever actions.
Amazing. Good. And here's the source for what you just said. Nice. Are you a Mekubelet? Rabbanit, amen. Amen, בעזרת השם שתזכי. ודעת דרך הקבלה יש לך לדעת. And he says, according to Kabbalah, you have to know one thing. כי כל ענייני התחתונים צריכים לצאת בפועל או במעשה. Because every single thing that happens in this world, in the tachtonim, in this place where we're at right now, okay? There are 7 worlds. There are 7 realities that we're going to experience, that our soul is going to go through, that our soul has gone through, that our soul is going to... This is one of the realities. This is one of the trips that we're on. It's just a trip. It's just a certain reality. And then once we leave the matrix, we go into another reality. And our soul continues into a whole different dimension. And there's a whole other life in that place. And it's crazy. But he says in this world, which is called Olam HaAsiyah, Olam HaMaaseh, in this world, the way things activate in this world, the button to make things work, in this world, the way to move things in this world is only based on speech and action. Because speech is an act. Speech is an act. It's not only moving your legs and your feet to go do your things on your to-do list. That means that you're acting. Your words, the way you speak, your speech, actual words are an action. It's a type of action in this world. It's a type of action in this world. That's why you can sit on your bed at night and say good things to yourself, and say good things about life, and say good things about God, and be grateful, and you will feel the effects of it in your body like you just took a vitamin C shot. You'll feel the effects of it in your body like you're just on a cleanse and you're on it for 4 or 5 days and you feel amazing. You're gonna feel by the words, by the just saying, sitting in your bed, not doing anything. You will feel the effects of it on yourself. And once you feel better, your life works better. Everyone that comes in contact with you is bettered by you. He says here, Dehainu mitzvot ha'ma'asit, we're in the third line in the first paragraph. Dehainu mitzvot ha'ma'asiyot o b'dibur כגון תפילה ותלמוד תורה והקימוץ שפתיו הווה מעשה ואינו מספיק הכוונה בלבד. He says, therefore, everything that has to do with mitzvahs in this world, actions. You can know the whole thing, but if you're doing so, you can know the whole Torah kula. But if you're texting on Shabbos, and if you're just not keeping the Torah, you're not keeping it, then there's a difference between a person that actively does it and a person that doesn't. A person that knows that walking is healthy, exercise is healthy, and doesn't do it, versus a person that knows it and does it. They're actively shaping their body. They're changing. It's nice to know, but to do is what we're about, because this is the world of action. And here, everything is about action. But the chiddush that we're learning here is incredible, because we're learning here that words are action. He says, everything that has to do with here in this world, that's tefillah, that's mitzvos, that's Torah, it all has to do with akimut sifatav, bending the mouth, la'akem et hapeh, la'akem, to bend your mouth. That is the act of speaking. Hevei maaseh, because that is an action. Ve'eno mesapika kavanah b'lvad, because having, like when people say, you're in our prayers or whatever, if you're not bending your lips to pray for that person, you can think it in your head, but he says a kavanah and no maspeak. It's not enough. The kavanah just thinking, oh, I wish that person has a better life. It's not enough. Say it. Say it out loud. I wish that person has a better life. Say it. The act of saying it is already an act. And once you created an act in the world of action, something else happens. You created a ripple effect in this world. You create a ripple effect. You know that whole concept of like, you keep Shabbos in Israel, or you do an act of chesed in Israel, or wherever in the world, and all of a sudden someone in Italy has a hirhur tshuva, all of a sudden they're like, maybe I'll go back to the Bet Chabad on Friday night. Maybe I'll go do something Jewish all of a sudden. Because it creates a ripple effect, because we're all in the realm of energy. Everything here, we're all connected by energy. Am Yisrael is connected by energy. So if you literally over here move into some kind of action, you pray for someone, you say 5 words out of your mouth, you see an ambulance drive by and you say a parak of Tehillim for them, that action creates a ripple effect on the energy level, and it affects another soul on another side of the world. And you have no idea that you're doing that, but you're going to be accredited to that. And that vibration helps your vibration also. He says here, B'Sefer HaZohar Ne'emar, in the Zohar it says, look inside, second paragraph, B'Sefer HaZohar Ne'emar, and then we're going to end. Ki of HaShamayim yolich et hakol v'al knafav yagid davar. He says, בלשון הזה, כל מה שחשוב האדם וחושב האדם וכל מה שהוסכם בליבו, every single thing you think, and every single thing that comes into your heart that you feel, לא עושים את פעולתם עד שיוציאם בשפתיו. It doesn't really activate you until you say it. That's why the biggest mitzvah in the world is Zikui Arabim. Is to go and make a difference in somebody else's life. He says all the thoughts of your mind and all the feelings of your heart don't really get activated until you say it. That's why you have to pray every single day. Because something happens to you when you pray the words that almost it digests the thoughts and the emotions, and it becomes a part of you. Just like food, just because you ate it doesn't mean that it's a part of you. You have to go through the whole, breaking it down, swallowing it, and go through digestive, and then it goes into all the cells of your body and to go into your blood, and it goes into it keeps you alive. But unless you digest it, it can just come back up and you can vomit it out, and then it doesn't really get enmeshed in your body and give you the vitamins and minerals that you need. Same thing. You can have a lot of very good things going on in your head, and it's good to have important things and good things in your head. It's so important. Koach HaMachshava, we spoke about it last time. But unless you say the things, and unless you bring them out into action through your words, they don't work. A father can love his child for his entire life, but unless he says to his child, I love you, the child doesn't necessarily always know that. The act of saying I love you creates something in this world, creates a bond, a relationship, a feeling, an emotion, a glue of sorts that brings the people together. When you say your thoughts, when you say your feelings, and that's when you pray every single day, you digest it, what's going on for you, you're forced to stand there and all of a sudden say, hey, I'm praying for my mom because she's going through this, and last night I had this feeling and I really want you to help me with that. You're digesting, you're working through it. לא עושים את פעולתם עד שהוציא בשפתיו, והוא מכוון לאותה מילה שהוציא בפיו, ובוקעת ועולה בעולם, ונעשה מזה קול. And the words that you say, listen to this amazing Zohar that he brings. He says, והוא מכוון לאותה מילה שהוציא בפיו, ובוקעת ועולה בעולם, ונעשה מזה קול. The words that come out of your mouth, they go into the olamot, and it becomes a call. It becomes a voice. Your words are reverberated through the layers of realities. He says, and the voice that goes up into Shamayim, when you say that goes up into Shamayim, it reverberates throughout all the realities. This call, Baalei Knafayim, HaMelachim, the angels, they take the voice that you brought into the world. You said, I love you. You said kind things or dark things, God forbid. But the voices that you create in this world, whether it's through tefillah, whether it's through picking someone up, whether it's through picking yourself up, whether it's talking to God, whether it's through saying, I love you, whether it's through whatever thank you, whatever it's that you're creating, the creation that you're bringing into this world by your words is taken, it reverberates through all the worlds, and it's taken by malachim, by angels. This is Zohar. And your voice is brought up and presented before God. You're like living in this world. You just had tefillah, and then you're like drinking your like iced coffee and sitting on your bed. You don't know what's going on with your soul up there. You don't know what's happening. Your voice, your tefillah, that stuff that just came out of you, that is being reverberated and echoed through all the heavens, and it comes up before Hashem. לכן כל מילה, and therefore every single word, תפילה או וכל בקשה שהאדם מוציא מבין שפתיו, every word that a person says, utters between his lips, and every tefillah that he says, and every request that he has, and every word of gratitude that he says, everything that you say, every word of Torah that you teach someone Torah, you give someone life by teaching them Torah, you give someone life, because especially a Jew that he connects so much naturally to Torah. You say anything that comes out of your mouth, anything. צריכים להיות בדיבור ובקול בבחינת שיהיו אוזניך שמות מה פיך אומר. Needs to be on the level that your ears hear what your mouth says. Your ears your ears have to hear what your mouth says. שאם לא כן אין התפילה תפילה, because if your ears don't hear what your mouth says, because that's the action of creating, your tefillah is not tefillah, and your bakasha is not a bakasha, and your request is not a request, because nobody hears you. You gotta say it. He does, but you gotta say it in order for yourself to, you have to hear yourself saying it.
Is that why they say you should, like, whenever you're davening, you should at least hear your
whisper? Yeah, 100%. That's how you really daven. Because you're creating something. It's a bria. You're creating something, and it goes up, and it has arms and legs and a pulse. You don't realize it, but it does. You've just created something. And it's like what we said last time with the water experiment. That literally the water, the molecules of water were changed because he spoke to it nicely, versus the molecules that changed because he cursed it. The molecules of water changed. They turn into crystals and diamonds. Right? Because your words are legit creations. They're things. And with this we're going to end. The word dibur is what? Speech. And the shorish there is what? What's the shorish? What's the root word? Davar. So the word dibur means speech, and the word davar means thing. What you speak, you will into existence, becomes something, becomes a thing. Your words become things. Baruch Sha'amar, God said, v'haya, and it was. Your words are legit, powerful. They create things. You don't see what they're creating, but they're creating real things in your life. So what you want, say I have, speak it. And what you don't want, don't say. Don't say I'm fat. Don't say I'm ugly. Don't say I'm stupid. Don't say I'm broke. Do what you don't want, don't say. Start remembering to say the things that you want, and you will see breakthroughs. Have a great day, girls.
Thank you.